A very good afternoon to one and all. All participants are requested to open the camera. So the resource person for this afternoon session, Dr. Rajesh Jawalekar sir has joined our cloud meeting. So on behalf of this entire group of NEP orientation and sensitization course, I welcome Dr. Rajesh Jawalekar sir, who is the director Innovation, Incubation and Linkages of Kavitri Bainabai Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. His academic qualification is MBA, LLB, PhD. He has 29 years of professional experience, out of which 27 years of industrial experience, worked in Johnson& and Johnson, MCED, Mycoseed, CK Birla Group, Endurance Limited. And since 2 years, he has been working as a director of Incubation Center. He has also been a regular resource person of our center, also leading in Center for Innovation and Incubation, and also member of state level OGT internship subcommittee and Maharashtra state responsible research innovation member. Also, he has been task force of facilitated more than 30 MOUs and developed simplified SOP and OGT internship. So again, I welcome Dr. Rajesh Javadekar sir to this afternoon session. And I would now hand over the session to him, and I will make a co-host to Dr. Akhil so that he can propose a vote of thanks. Gaurav, you can make Akhil sir a co-host. 85, roll number 85. Yes, Javadekar sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rafi sir, and all the members of the Faculty Development Center. As Rafi sir has introduced me, so today I'll be speaking to all of you, uh, on the subject of internships. So before starting my session, to set the tone, I would be sharing my some industrial experience also. After spending almost close to 27 years in industry, I have joined this academia, and I will share with you, what the industry is going through, and especially my session will be in context of NEP 2020. So just let me share my 1 second. I just share my slides. So is my slide visible to all of you? The co-host can, the host can just
Yes,
confirm to
yes,
me.
sir. Yes, it is visible.
Okay, great.
But you
Okay,
can make
great.
it full screen, sir. Full screen.
Full screen. 1 second, just let me check. I have made it full screen.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see where the. Is it now full screen? No.
No, no.
1 second. Where is the
Sir,
tab?
sir, at down you will get like a cup. Downside where volume is there, na? Down screen volume button is there. There you will get a cup. Ah, yeah.
I'm sorry, this is what, technology. 1 second, just let me.
Sir, you do one thing. You run PPT first. Close this and run PPT.
Okay. Okay. One second. Just give me 2 minutes. Till
Yeah.
the time I just set up the.
Yes. Here you are getting. You go down, sir. Are you listening me?
Correct, correct. I'm listening.
You go down, right hand side. Volume is coming there.
Yes, volume is there.
Yes, press that cup. You are getting cup, na?
No, no, there's no cup shape here. I don't know. 1 second. I'll just arrange. Give me 2 minutes.
Then go in slideshow. Slideshow.
Yeah. 1 second. Hello. Yeah. पुढे full screen येते.
Yes, it will do, sir. You can continue like this only. No issue.
Okay. ఇది व्यक्ति काय आहे की
You can run, sir. You can do like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, I hope it is readable at least.
Yes, it is readable.
Okay, good. But it is not full screen, right?
Yes, let it be. No issue, sir.
So maybe after this session, I'll try to learn that, try to understand it. Yeah, well, so as I said, basically today I'll be sharing with you my experiences, my industrial experiences. And as we all know that what is the objective of NEP 2020 also? It's more towards skill-based education. So today I'll be spending time on internships, and also I will try to, if time permits, then I'll try to touch base upon AEDP. I'm sure you must have heard about the term AEDP, that is Apprentice Embedded Degree Programs. So basically, coming to my presentation, so what I've done is I've divided my presentation to set the tone. What is the current market scenario? What is happening in the current market, and what is going to be the future? And part 3 is going to be on the competencies. Like, what are the things that we are looking at? What the industry is looking at? In between, if there are any questions and you'd like to raise any questions, or so you can just probably I don't know how is the mechanism, but otherwise then you can raise your hand and then probably type your question, because you must be muted. All of you must be muted. So you can raise a hand at that point of time, or towards the end of this presentation, I'll take the question answer session. Now coming to the introduction, when we see the current market scenario. So if you look into this current market scenario, 1980s, are you able to respond also? Are you able to respond by speaking? Hello?
No, sir. They are all muted.
No.
They will ask in the
Okay,
chat
they are all
box.
muted. So friends, all the participants. Okay, okay. So if you see, probably you can type in the chat box also. So if you see this 1980 scenario, 1980 के दशक में सिनेरियो क्या था, ये पिक्चर के माध्यम से मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे तो you'll find one seller and couple of buyers, which means that sellers were few, buyers were many. Many of the senior people who are here, they're who have crossed 50s. So they'll remember that in the childhood days, getting a telephone connection was the waiting period was around 8 to 10 years. Let me share with you, like I still remember when we first brought our Priya scooter way back in 1979, I think the waiting period was around 5 years. And we had booked the scooter 5 years before, and we got the delivery after 5 years. So you can imagine that means the buyers were many, but suppliers were few. So it was more of a license raj. Then what happened in 1990s? 1990s, as we all know, I'll not repeat over here, but LPG effect, the liberalization, globalization, and privatization. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization. In this, what happened? The market scenario changed because the government opened doors to multinational companies also. So there was a lot of privatization which happened. And because of privatization, because of the permissions which were given to the different industries globally, lot of multinationals entered into Indian market. And this resulted into competition, creation of jobs also, but at the same time competition also. So better services to people. So today's economy, what we are living into is post 1990s. Now, if you see, if you want to buy a SIM card, maybe on the street side, there are vendors who are selling the mobile connections. Maybe even if I go for an inquiry of a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler, they will immediately start keep on calling you. With what I'm trying to say, the sellers are many, buyers are probably are few. So it's more of a customer-driven market. So we say that what about 2000 and above? Like, after 2000, what is happening? See, today what we are seeing, again, the industrial scenario is changing. When I'm saying the industrial scenario is changing, means probably like, if I talk about, different industries, like what we are seeing in that almost all the industries have almost vanished, few of them. Like, for example, in olden times, we had the Xerox machines where there were manual Xeroxes, photocopying machines. But suddenly there is a change which has come. In earlier communication, maybe in 1990s, we used to see for communication, fax was one of the important, communication mode for sending documents. But today, where is fax? There is nowhere. In 1995, few of you people may remember that we had pagers to communicate. But today, where are the pagers? There are no pagers because it's not required, because the technology itself is becoming obsolete. Something else is taking it over. So what is the 2000 and above scenario? Probably uncertainty, only certainty. Means we are not certain tomorrow what is going to happen. I was just discussing with one of my colleague from the Asian Paints, one of the renowned companies. And I was just trying to check with him, like, when I wanted to paint my house recently, I'm talking this maybe 5-6 months ago. Maybe 5-6 months ago, I was when I was talking to him, I was discussing with him that I would like to paint my house, and can you suggest me, being a guy from the paint industry, can you suggest me? So he told me, Rajesh, look, nowadays paint industry is also facing competition, and there are a lot of options which have come. You are getting a lot of wallpapers, and we are also getting affected by that because wallpapers are easier. You can paste yourself. There's no less of labor charge, less of time which is required, and plus the durability is also more. And if you want to change, you can change after 2 3 years easily. What I'm trying to give you an example is that things are changing very fast. So today, and with the recent advent of AI, now the AI has become the buzzword. Forget about the incident which has happened in Delhi, the recent AI summit. But if you look at, there are a lot of solutions which have come in this year, in the AI, the recent uh, Delhi AI platform, which was, a trade fair which was created. In one of the picture, in one of the, when I was going through the AI summit, the different stalls, in one of the stall, there was a mirror which was kept, and the person standing in front of the, he has to just stand in front of the screen, and it will scan the entire body and tell him about his medical fitness. What I'm trying to tell you is that this is what is happening. You will find a lot of articles which talk about which are the jobs which are going to get obsolete. These are the jobs which are apart from the coders. See, earlier when we have to develop a program, we have to write the IT professionals used to write coders. So there were a lot of coders which were required in the industry. Today, what has happened? Probably AI will write the codes for you, error-free codes for you. They will also do the testing part of it. So the coding job has become almost obsolete. Today, when we see with the advent of technology, like you have a lot of speech softwares, where are the secretarial role? If you look way back in 1990s, probably there were secretaries, PA, personal assistants. But today, hardly you find this kind of role, except for at a very, very senior leadership positions. Because the information has become on hand, a person can easily type the information, or if he does not want to type, he can also speak. So there are speech software which will convert your text, your verbal communication into text, the similar way which is happening just now in my presentation. So what I'm trying to say, the secretarial role have vanished. So this is what is happening. We don't know. Probably till 2015, 17, nobody thought that AI is going to come and AI is going to make these kind of impacts. So in the future, what is going to happen? We are not sure. Uncertainty is the only certainty. That is why I've said the word uncertainty probably is the only certainty which is going to continue. So how the industries are, responding to it. So quickly going through, like when we look into the 50s and 70s, doing business itself was a challenge because it was more of a license raj. You want to set up a factory, you didn't get the licenses. It was very, very difficult. It was very challenging. And those who got the licenses, they used to, there was no competition. And because there was no competition, whatever was produced was purchased. There was not much of quality awareness which was there. Rather, this quality awareness has come into after Second World War, when the TQM philosophy, ISO philosophy, these kind of ISI, Indian Bureau of Standards. So these kind of things have come up. In the 70s and 90s, it was more from an industry perspective. It was more of an industrial relations. If you go back and look into your old movies, just to mention over here, if you go back and look into some of the famous old movies, you'll find in these movies there's a lot of unionism, which were also covered by the media, the film industry also. If you look back, wherever you're staying, whichever part of the country you are, if you look back, you'll find that the industries which were in and around you had a lot of union raj, kind of thing. So there are guild meetings which are happening, there are demonstrations which are happening, there are processions which are happening by the workmen. But are you finding it today? Probably no. Because things have changed. Things have changed. Even the workers, they are not now called as workers, but it is called as a blue collar job. They are called as production, executives, or the production shop floor staff. So they are called as staff, because workers also will like to, they don't want to carry that stigma that we are the workers. So the things have changed, and as I said earlier, there are some couple of incidents. If you remember way back in 2000, I think 12 or 13, there was a episode which happened in Manesar. The worker who was in Maruti Udyog Limited, the manager was stabbed to death. But now things are changing. You will not find these kind of incidents getting repeated. And in the current scenario that we are living, it is called as a talent attraction and retention. See, being an academician, we many a times we say कि jobs nahi hai, jobs nahi hai. But whenever there are trade fairs which are the job fairs which are put up, you'll see a lot of companies which are coming to the rural areas also. Recently, we had a camp. I'll share my experience. Recently, our university had organized a camp, two camps in the month of February. One was in Dulia and one was in Jalgaon itself. Through my contacts, through my personal contacts, because since I was in industry, some of my juniors, they are already working at a senior level positions. So I talked to one of my juniors and I said, "Hey, look, guy, can you come down and participate in this camp?" He said, "Sure, sir. Why not?" He came all that way from Pune along with his team because he was working in a big giant company. So they have their own set procedures. He wanted to recruit 100 plus engineers. And to recruit this 100 plus engineers, they had a set process. One is your academia, like what you have scored, what the students have scored. The second was a psychological test, which they would be conducting. And after the psychological test, then probably they will have a small screening of personal interviews, kind of. So this was the set process. So he, along with his other two colleagues, three people, they all came. And to share with you, I was under pressure. You know why? Because I was scared. Because if there is a failure, and if you are not able to provide them the proper manpower, like the candidates, second time they'll not come to this region. So there are two aspects to it. One is all the way from Pune, they're coming down to a place like Dulia, setting up their center, setting up their stall to select the students. Means there is a need. It shows that there is a need of people over there. When they came over here, trust me, I was it was such a, mental pressure that I talked to all the diploma colleges, I talked to all the engineering colleges in and around, one second, sorry. Sir, I'm in a training session. Hello. I'll give you a call. Sorry. So I spoke to all of them, and then we could organize somewhat like, around 300 students who could, come. So what we did is we extended the Dulia camp. Then they came to Jalgaon also. In Jalgaon Engineering College, I spoke to the engineering college. I requested the principal over there. And then we again organized one, on the subsequent day, we also had the team meeting the students from Jalgaon. What I'm trying to say that talent attraction and retention itself is a big challenge. My last stint, just to share with you, I was before joining academia I joined here in the month of November 2022. Before joining here, I was working with a big giant company, automobile company, that is Endurance Technologies Limited. And the challenge in front of us was because we were based in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar and having our headquarters in Waloj. The challenge in front of us was how do we attract, good talent. So we used to shortlist the CVs from Pune, Bombay, Bangalore, and to move them, it was literally taking them around the city, showing me, for the selected candidates. We used to show them how the city is good, how it is good for education, how it is good for family life, and all that. So what I'm trying to communicate to you is these are the real life experiences. There is a scarcity of talent. I'm saying scarcity of talent. It is so that if you want to just recruit engineers, you'll find thousands of applications coming in. But the employability aspect is the important aspect. Like today, let us say a student is studying BCom or MBA finance, but probably he does not know, he has never gone to the banks, he has never worked in any seriously under his projects. So his employability factor will not be there. And this is what exactly, NEP 2020 is trying to address. How do we reduce the gap between academia and industry? And I think, we all are in a very noble profession because we are mentoring, we are coaching, we are guiding, we are shaping the future generations. So the onus of responsibility is more on us, and of course the students also. So the thing is, when I'm saying that we are mentoring, coaching, probably the way of coaching, the way of mentoring, the way of teaching probably needs to be also changed. And that is what we are saying, by consistent improvement, by understanding the opportunity. So we all need to change. I'm not saying that olden times, whatever we are doing was wrong. Probably that was okay at that point of time. Probably when we are in the current scenario, probably we need to look at like how the things are changing and how do we need to align ourselves. Earlier, the skill and knowledge went with the age and experience. But today, what happens? Like today, you could see at the beginning, at the start of the session, I was struggling to put a full screen. Correct? So what I said, maybe after this session, I will try to learn that. Like, what are the options that I need to use so that I can use a full screen. What I'm trying to say is that probably this I'm going to learn from one of my juniors, from one of the youngsters who is tech savvy. Many times at our home also, when we are stuck with our mobile, the children help us to understand the features. And this is what the change is happening. So today in academia also, probably we need to look at things differently. We need to revisit and see that, yes, what are the things I can make it more and more, in terms of like in today's context. So studies indicate, just coming to studies indicate that low availability of talent as a biggest constraint for growth opportunities in India. 15 to 20% shortage of middle level managers. 2.2 million graduates every year, only 15 to 20% are considered as employable. Cream of premier MBAs is lured by the international companies, the MNCs. Salaries in India were the fastest growing in the world after recent recession that has a slight break in the same. See, salaries per se is not a constraint. Let me share with you. At a leadership position, the salaries may run into 1 crore plus. But even at an entry level, if there is a right talent, the salaries are minimum, maybe 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs per annum, I'm talking about, for freshers. Even if it is a local colleges, if there is a right candidate, companies do offer starting salaries in the range of 3 to 5 lakhs, maybe at a local college. Maybe as the institute has its own good teaching facilities and good recognition in terms of NIRF rankings or NAC rankings, like the regional colleges, RECs, or the government colleges, or even some of the private colleges, probably they will be drawing more salaries also than this. At the same time, you will also have the other flip side of it, that there are some colleges, there are some institutes where the companies will never go to because of the education level, probably the exposure of the students. So, if you look at the Times of India, I've just tried to, for this session, I just tried to look at some of the newspaper cuttings. If you look at this is October 29, 2024, hardly 1.5 years ago. There's a news in the Times of India which says only 10% are expected to secure jobs in 2024 out of 1.5 million graduates annually. Similarly, if you look at the Hindu economic survey for 23-24, only 51% graduates are employable. I know it's a big challenge for all of us also, because we are seeing how the attendance is dwindling, because the students also are not many a time it becomes challenging for us, because they are looking at probably the WhatsApp university or the information which is on the Google. So we need to create that pull factor. Now, creating that pull factor is going to be a challenge for all of us as professionals, as tutors, as teachers, as mentors. This is another, news where here again it says 90% of them are unemployable. Now, this employability, I'll just share an example with you. See, when we used to recruit in my previous job, when we used to do a lot of recruitments, simple questions. See, our focus of discussion as an interviewer was more on the practical skills. Since academia, like for example, a student who has scored maybe 80%, 90% marks, or maybe 80% plus, it was not more on the academic questions, typically which are covered in the course syllabus. We used to ask questions which are related to his projects. Because we used to look, see, let me share with you, when an industry is recruiting especially the youngsters, entry-level positions, they are not expecting the student to know everything. Because they know that he is just a pass out. The industry does not expect the student to have the entire wisdom of the industry which he is in. But at least the fundamentals should be clear. That is what is bare minimum expected. Like for an engineer, if I ask him, please tell me the definition of straight line, I could find that some of the engineers could not give the answers, many of them, proper technical answers. Suddenly, when you put a question in front of them, what is the difference between a mean and an average? We all know it is same. Mean is nothing but an average. An average, it is synonym to each other. But the students used to get confused. Then when we come to his projects, we used to try to find out what is the project that he has done, what is the application of knowledge that he has used, what is the understanding of his project, what was his role in the project. It is very unfortunate that many of the students today, we are seeing, it happens in our, in almost every area, we are seeing there are businesses, small time businesses which are flourishing, who are making projects and supplying ready-made projects to the students. The students probably are not understanding how important the project is, because ultimately he is going to be judged on that. We talk about the internship, the NEP 2020 has introduced internship for what? The internship of 1 month, 2 months internships is with the same objective that the student should go and learn from the industry. So, coming to it, internships and OGT, that is on the job training under NEP 2020. I've just taken these screenshots from the, from the UGC guidelines or from the various, circulars which were there. It talks about developing the capability and the competence of the students. The national, I'll just read it over here for the sake of everyone, because this is the policy document of the UGC guidelines 2023, which were released by the UGC on NEP 2020. It says the National Education Policy 2020, that is the NEP 2020, views that the purpose of the education system is to develop good human beings capable of rational thought and action, possessing compassion and empathy, courage and resilience, scientific temper and creative imagination with sound morals and values. And if you look at, the Maharashtra state government also, they have also issued the circular, the GR. I'll share these GRs with you subsequently towards the end of the session. So if you see at the objective of all this GR or the UGC guidelines, it talks about practical knowledge. It talks about, logical thinking, logical reasoning. which can happen through internships. And let me share with you, see, internships per se is not new. It was already happening for the technical courses. When I'm saying technical courses, it was already happening for typically the diploma or the engineering graduates. They used to have some projects or on the job training, and the MBA students. The only thing is now it is being extended to all our undergraduate courses also. So our graduation and post-graduation courses, there is a component of, this internships or OJT on the job training, which has been introduced. The objective is that how do we give them the exposure of real life experiences? And how do we develop their competence? Now, what is all this about? Like, let's look for, when you ask a student, keep when he's securing the education, when he's enrolled for a particular graduation course or a post-graduation course, what is his mindset? Is it a job seeker or he's looking at a career? Now, see, there is a lot of difference between a job seeker attitude and a career attitude. We typically say, what is the attitude of a job seeker? The job seeker is work as much as you are worth. You get paid. 2 punch, 1 lunch. This we used to use in the industry, which I'm trying to, just to share with you. So, what are the typical characteristics of a job seeker? 2 punch, 1 lunch means a guy comes to the company, he gets a job opportunity. Let us say there is a campus recruitment which happens, and one of the guy gets selected, and he says, "Yaar, kyun zyada mehnat karna hai? Why should I? Am I going to get extra money for that?" So, what is his criteria? It's not his career development, but it is more towards the comfort. He wants to be in the comfort zone. So, वो जाना एक पंच करना है, थोड़ा बहुत जो बॉस ने काम दिया है वो करना है, तो फिर वो खाना खाना है, lunch, and again going back is second punch. So this is the mindset. No learning and development, lack of knowledge and skills. I always tell the students, when you get your first job, at least, if not a big amount, at least spend 500 rupees for your self-development. Like, for example, many of our students coming from the rural areas, they say, "Sir, our thoughts are very clear, but we cannot communicate in English." Let me share with you, it's not a drawback. What efforts you have taken? At least have you started reading the newspapers, English newspapers? Do you have a Renan Martin dictionary where you can look into, what is the meaning of the words? What are the efforts that I've taken? And let me share with you, 90 plus percentage of the students, or be it the industry professionals also, don't spend time for their self-development. If you're working in an IT industry, you should subscribe for at least IT magazines. If you're working in an automobile industry, at least you make one subscription for an automobile, nationally acknowledged automobile magazine. But how many of them do? Hardly, very, very few. So they have more of a doer attitude. When I'm saying doer attitude means do what is told. They will not, there is no initiative at their end. Maybe they are afraid of the risk. Why should I take the risk? Boss क्या बोलेगा? मेरे colleagues क्या बोलेंगे, and it happens, in every field. Fear of failure. What happens to my job if I fail? मैं अगर fail हो गया तो क्या होगा? And this is what the job seeker's attitude is. If you look at a career orientation person, similarly, when you're looking at a job and a career oriented person, the career oriented person, he works with a passion. What is the difference? A career oriented person क्या होता है कि he works with a passion. When I'm saying passion means there is no looking at the watch, understanding the real issue and trying to give best to the organization. He acquires the desired knowledge and skills. There is a lot of self-learning, initiative which is there, which he demonstrates. He believes in the concept, I do, I learn. वो बोलते हैं ना कि इंजीनियर ने जब तक हाथ काले नहीं किए मशीन के ऊपर वो इंजीनियर नहीं कहलाता है, वो बन नहीं सकता है. And throughout the career, it is continuous learning. It is not just at the beginning of the career, but it's a continuous learning, developing the competence. So this is what the career orientation is. So when we are working, when the students are actually enrolling for different courses, are they aware who will succeed more when he works for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years throughout his life? The person who is with a career attitude is bound to be successful more than the person who is with a job attitude. He will develop that competence and capability. So what are competence? Like when we are saying competence, what do you mean by competence? We'll look at it later. So what are the changing paradigms? See, today what is happening is, let me share with you, loyalty is shifting to commitment. If you look at your parents, like, when I look at my parents, when we look at, like, if our parents were working with some of the organization, they used to be loyal in the sense they have worked throughout their life in the same organization. And this was rewarded also by the management. लेकिन आज क्या हो रहा है? More than loyalty, management is looking at commitment. How you deliver, what is your worth. Seniority versus meritocracy. So seniors are not the automatic leaders. It is a merit, the persons who will show that yes, they are they are capable, who will demonstrate their competence, they will grow. The social fairness towards the contribution fairness. Here, what I'm trying to say, like for example, all engineers, maybe at entry level, when they join, and the organization offers throughout the campus same salary. Let us say to begin with, maybe 3 lakh rupees a month to the freshers. But what happened about the future? The social fairness and the contribution. The more you contribute, the more you perform, the better your salaries become. Not all engineers who join the organization grow in their career ladder. Not all become managers. Not all become, plant heads. Not all become department heads. There are only very few who become. And when they are contributing, it is not only the technical knowledge, but also their team management, their understanding of the logical reasoning, their decision making is also equally important. And through our internships, through our OJT, because when a guy sincerely goes and works in a company for a month or so, he gets to know that what are his thinking develops. He gets to know how to work with colleagues, which is important for his future career journey. So what is the future of talent management? The old realities. The old reality is what people needed companies, but the new reality is, believe me, companies need people. Companies need people. That is why the reason, as I said, my Dhulia example, which I shared at the beginning, the guy coming down all the way from Pune to, here just for recruitment. Machines, capital and geography were the competitive advantage. But today क्या हो रहा है? Talented people are the competitive advantage. Jobs are scarce. Talented people are scarce today. Employees are loyal and jobs are secure. पुराने ये था कि भाई मैं लॉयल हूं तो मेरे को कोई निकालेगा नहीं. But आज प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्री में वैसा नहीं. People are mobile and the commitment is short term. We see a lot of, it's a very common trend in industry that a person works for not more than, maybe 3 years on an average is considered as a good stability. Rather, a person working in the same organization for 20 years in industry, it is looked as a drawback. वो बोलते यार 20 साल एक ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम किया, वो कल्चर में काम किया, हमारे पास काम नहीं कर सकता, हमारे कल्चर में काम नहीं कर सकता, because he has been working for 20 years in the same culture. And that is why you must have seen your youngsters, especially the younger crowd, they keep on changing. But of course, change should happen for learning opportunity, not which is coupled with your salary increase also. It's not just a salary increase. I see some of the students who are changing jobs within 6 months, 3 months. That is also not good. Employers define the rewards. The rewards are customized to employee needs. When I'm saying here is company में क्या होता है कि earlier we had a basic scale and things like that, even in the companies, the organization. But now today what happens? We customize the rewards. We customize the rewards for the persons who are performing. We have something called as incentive. We have something called as production incentive. We have something called as a KA variable pay, which is linked to your performance, the performance of the plant, the performance of the individual. We have customized rewards like, some of our senior employees will say, look, I would like to have a special kind of a car or something, some kind of rewards, incentives. So these are designed as per the employer determines how and when work will be performed. Now today we are saying employees are demanding greater flexibility in work. When I'm saying flexibility in work means today what has happened is we, like for example, in my previous organization, we did not have a fix from to time, but we had a flexibility. Like for example, we had a time from 8:30 to 7 o'clock. You can come any time and go, provided you work for 8 hours. That means the person may be coming at 8:30, he can leave early also at 5 o'clock also. Or a person, if he comes late, 9:30, then probably he'll leave at maybe 6:30, 7, whatever, after completing his scheduled time of 8 hours. So these kind of flexibilities companies are giving in Aurangabad city also, in Waluj area also. And that to engineering companies. I'm not talking about IT companies. IT company to give a lot of flexibility. Of course, this work from home is becoming again a nightmare for some of the IT professionals. Why I'm saying nightmare? Because you are finding that the IT professionals are working maybe at odd hours. If the global time at the other end of the globe is morning time, here in India it will be late night, and the the employees who are in that particular field are working accordingly as per the customer requirements, which is affecting their health also. Anyway, that's a separate issue. But what I'm trying to say is that employees are also demanding flexibility nowadays. So the forward path. Now, having said all this, when we have understood, like, what are the, what are the changes which are happening, what is the industry demanding? So, like, what are the competence that we are talking about? So, what is this competence all about? हम बोलते हैं ना वो बहुत competent है बंदा. When we say competent means what? So, why some people are more successful than others? See, there was a lot of research which was carried out, and this research was carried out by one of the psychologists, David McClelland from the US. He published one article testing for competence rather than intelligence. You look around in your classroom also, you look back to your batch also, you will find the people who are successful, it is not just merely driven by the intelligence, the marks. It has a lot of other things also. So, what are those other things? And that is where David McClelland developed aptitude test, and this test means the attitudinal, like there were a lot of examinations which were conducted, and he came to a concept that an alternative method to the traditional method of intelligence testing, his alternative variables were labeled as competencies. Now, what are these competencies? By skill to मालूम है सबको. Like for example, I drive the bicycle very well. So driving, cycling is my skill. Now, what is competency all about? See, competency is that specially that niche factor which differentiate you amongst the others. When I'm saying niche factor, means it talks about, how do you stand out? And let me share with you, all the participants, that competencies are not only related to individuals, they're also related to the products which are there in the market. Some products are very, very competent. So that is the differentiating factor. In terms of the competence could be in particular area. Like for example, when I was a childhood, way back in 1985s and 1995s, I remember there was an advertisement of Hero Honda motorcycle where the tagline was fill it, shut it, and forget it. What was the tagline? Fill it, shut it, and forget it. Means what the advertisement was trying to convey, that our bikes give better average. So they are trying to convey that our bikes are more competent than other bikes in terms of mileage. So this is just one example which I'm giving. Now that ad is not there. Why it is not there? Because there are many other bikes which are giving probably better averages than that bike which was existing at that point of time. So, what is this competency? Competency is it helps you to stand out. It demonstrates you that you are something different. I'll share one more example of here in terms of human beings. Like, a parents to one of the family. I'm giving a hypothetical example. In one of the family is blessed with the twins. Both are, male children. Let us say their names were Sham and Ghansham. So Sham and Ghansham, they both are what? Real brothers. They are twins. They are born on the same day. And they go into the same school, obviously, because they are from the year. And the love and affection which they get from their parents, the parenting is in the same atmosphere because they live in the same house. Their parents love both the children. They extend whatever best they could to these children, to these twin brothers. They study in the same school and they also go for graduation in the same engineering college for the same course. Let us say they both go for XYZ college and they take admission in BE Mechanical. So the teachers are same to teach both of them. It so happens, since it is a hypothetical example, I will say that they score same marks, same percentage. Sham also gets 80%, Ghansham also gets 80%. They both appear for campus interview, and in the campus interview, they both get selected in an organization, and this organization offers them a role to manage 5 machines on the shop floor, 5 each. So there are 2 lines which are given on the shop floor, one line consisting of 5 machines and the other line on the same shop floor consisting of other 5 machines. The machines are same, the product is same, probably the skill also is same because both the students Ghansham and Sham, they have secured same marks. So we can consider the skill level is also same and the knowledge is also same. Now there are targets, similar targets which are given to both of them. And the targets are reviewed at the end of the year. The performance is reviewed at the end of the year. My simple question over here to all of you is, will the performance be same of Sham and Ghansham? Obviously, no. उन दोनों का परफॉर्मेंस डिफरेंट होगा. Maybe one person will outperform, will do better than the other person. So why this? Why this happens? ऐसा क्यों हुआ? Why this performance of one person is better than the other person? Situation was same, education level was same, courses were same, parenting, उनको जो love and affection मिला वो भी same था, teachers were also same, marks also they got similar marks. Company where they worked is same company. So why there is a difference of performance? And this difference of performance is because of certain traits and capabilities a person has over other person. And this is nothing but it is called as a competency. Looking at what is competency? Typically, if you look at a definition by Spencer and Spencer, it says A competency is an underlying characteristics of a person which enables him or her to deliver a superior performance in a given job, role, or a situation. I'll repeat. It is an underlying characteristics. This word is important. A competency is an underlying characteristics of a person. उसमें कुछ तो खूबियां है, हम लोग बोलते हैं हिंदी में खूबियां है उसके अंदर, वो सबसे अलग है. When we say this, there is something which is there in that person. And what is that? Is called as an underlying behavior. Competency is nothing but an underlying behavior or characteristics of a person which enables him to deliver a superior performance. So typically हम उसकी तुलना करेंगे एक iceberg model के साथ. When you look at an iceberg model, sorry, when you look at an iceberg model, remember the Titanic film? It sunk because of the iceberg. Because icebergs, only 1/3 is visible and 2/3 is hidden. And that is what is called as attitude, traits, motives, self-concept, self-belief. These are all hidden. And what we see is the skills and the knowledge. The knowledge is nothing but the certificates and whatever is issued by the university or the institute. The skills are what he demonstrates, the technical skills, typically communication skills, technical skills. And what we cannot see is probably the self-concept, the attitude, the traits, the beliefs, the self-belief. And this is what leads to superior performance. Probably out of Shyam and Ghanshyam, the person who did well was a better team player. He was his logical reasoning was better. He was more empathetic to your team members. So his team members did better, they contributed, and that led to a better performance. His attitude was more towards a career orientation. So he used to ensure that his machine maintenance was done well, because if the input is correct, the output is going to be good. So he ensured that the machine maintenance was good, the input material which was going, he not only took care of the output product, but he also looked at the input product which was going into the machines for processing, which resulted into better performance, better output. And let me share with you, the person who works with a career attitude, with these kind of competencies, because that is his self-belief. His self-belief, the person who succeeds, his self-belief was, out of Shyam and Ghanshyam, who succeeded, who did better, because his self-belief was that the work that I come, the shop floor that I come, is a sacred place for me. Is a sacred place because from there I am going to earn. From there I am going to get a livelihood. मेरी रोजी रोटी इसकी वजह से चल रही है. So he gives his wholehearted involvement into the for his job, for his roles, responsibilities, and that is how it leads to his superior performance. So basically, having said all this, what we're trying to do to the students, by telling them to go for internship, it is not that it is a vacation for them. I find some of the students, they are not very serious. It's very unfortunate. I'm sure it will be there at your end also. But my humble appeal to all of you will be, let us focus on those who are doing well, so that you have that number keeps on increasing. Let us say out of 50 students, 10 are doing extremely well in terms of the internships. I'm talking in terms of internships. So we should project them so that this 10 becomes 15, 15 becomes 20, and 20 becomes, the number goes on increasing. And these students who go out will definitely can perform, outperform can be more successful. That is what they learn. I will share one small example over here. In our campus, in our Jalgaon campus, University KBCNMU Jalgaon campus, there are different departments which are there. Schools, we call it as campus schools. In these campus schools, recently, about maybe 8 months ago, there was a competition which was organized by AICT, an innovation cell at a central government. And this competition was Smart India Hackathon. Our university in the past has never ever participated in this competition. But this time, we said we will take the lead. When I'm saying lead means because there were certain requirements which were there, that one of the department has to take the lead for conducting in-house competitions within the campus, and after that there were levels which were there. So our KCL team, that is Kavitri Bainabai Chaudhary Center for Innovation, Incubation and Linkages team, took the lead, and they conducted a lot of hackathons internally, and about 8 teams were selected. 8 teams were sent at a national level. Out of these 8 teams, I'm very happy to share with you that one team got selected for the national level competition. And this national level competition happens with the means where all the IITs also participate. And it is not a one-day event; it is a 5-day event. It's like a grand finale which happens. Our team, which participated in the grand finale, which was held in the month of December 2025 at IIT Chennai, our team members, they won the first All India prize, which was worth 1.5 lakh rupees. And the competition was with IITs and a lot of other institutes also, best of the institutes in India. Now, how this happened? Because when they came initially 8 months ago with the idea, what we did is we gave them a lot of training, communication, teamwork. And with this training, communication, teamwork, their performance was better. What I'm trying to tell you is that competencies can be developed. It is not that one cannot develop the competency. वो hidden है तो उसको हम लोग develop नहीं कर सकते, ऐसा नहीं. It develops with lot of experiential learning. So we took this team, we took a lot of mock interviews, we took a lot of mock discussions, and we continuously sharpen the saw. In the 7 habits of highly effective people, what we say The seventh habit is sharpening the saw. And that is what we did. And the sharpening of the saw is what is our internships, what we are talking about. Like, how do we develop the competence of the students? How do we make them more employable? So bringing in that employability is very, very essential so that they stand on their own and they are able to perform and deliver. And that is what the concept of the essence of NEP 2020 internships or OJTs. Well, this is just a simple which I wanted to share with you that competencies are the more and more the resources are required for developing the capabilities, and the capabilities lead to competencies and the core competencies, which I shared with you, like, for example, best of the institutes, what are the practical exposures that we are giving, what are the internship opportunities that we are giving. Let me share with you, as we go up and up towards the core competency from our resources, the level of difficulty increases. It is not that easy also, because we need to monitor the students properly. We need to ensure that, ultimately they are students. So we need to do a lot of hard work also. We need to design the program properly. We need to do a lot of MOUs. We need to talk to the industry people. We need to approach them. We need to explain to them. We need to ensure that our student is going on time, coming on time, and he is delivering. So developing this competency, as the value increases, when I'm saying value means his employability increases, the level of difficulty is also, because there are a lot of efforts which are required. That is what I wanted to communicate. So coming towards 3 P's to sustain the challenge: the perseverance, passion, and pride. Passion and perseverance, persistent pride, and leading to pride with wisdom. So this is I am towards my end of my presentation, but I would like to share few of the more slides with you, hardly couple of them. PDCA, there's nothing wrong in that where, there's no beginning. This PDCA cycle is also called the Deming cycle. Plan, do, check, act. And maybe after attending this faculty development program, start doing the small changes in your curriculum, in your way of delivering, in your way of conducting the classes. And these small delta X changes keep on repeating. That is what we say: plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act. And this cycle helps you to improve, develop your competency, your capabilities. And it applies to the students also. So, because human beings, as we say, they are like tea bags. Why I'm saying this? Human beings are like tea bags. Because you don't know your strength until you get into the hot water. जब तक वो टी बैग को हम लोग गर्म पानी में नहीं करेंगे, तब तक उसका स्वाद जो है वो नहीं समझ में आने वाला. So what we are saying is, human beings are like tea bags. You don't know your strength until you get into the hot water. So this was my first part of my, what I wanted to share with you. Set the context, tell you about what the industry is happening, explain to you what industries are looking at, and how do we align ourselves. As I said, NEP 2020, it talks about skill-based education. It talks about more of developing the attitude and the traits of the students. It talks about multi-skilling. Is nothing but how do we, the objective is very nice, but the implementation will remain on how we deliver. So thank you very much for listening, this patient listening. Of course, you didn't have a choice because you all are muted. So I can understand, even if you want to ask any questions, you could not. But probably towards the end of this first session, probably you can, I will end the slides and then I'll keep it open. You can text and then I will try to answer those questions. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Yeah,
anyone
any
have any
questions are there?
question? Anyone have
I
any
hope I was
question?
audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, you are audible.
Okay. So this is what it happens in the online sessions.
Yes.
So it's very difficult to know that, like, whether it went well or not. But nevertheless, these are the challenging and these are the changing times we all need to accept. Yeah. So can we, how do we go ahead? We go to the next session on the internship, the technical part of it. Yeah. Who is the coordinator from the center?
Rafe, sir. Dr. Abdul Rafe.
So, no, what I'm trying to say, Rafi sir may not be there in the session, no?
Yeah, yeah. I am there as a co-host, sir.
Yeah. So, co-host, what is the schedule now? Like, we take a break of few minutes and then we again get for the second session?
No, you can continue, sir.
Oh,
Because we will be
so,
finishing at 4:15 or something around that.
oh my goodness.
4:30,
I was
4:30,
told around
5:30,
5,
5
sorry,
o'clock.
5 o'clock, no? Correct.
Okay, okay. You can,
So,
sir. But you can.
okay. So, I will take on to the next session now because after understanding this context, now let us look at, like, internships. So what I will be doing over here is I'll be sharing the internships, like, the policy document, and I will be explaining, like, what is internship all about. And in this, I will also share with you all the GRs and the concern, like, whatever is there on internship. But my request to all the participants would be that this being a part of, we don't have a choice to whether to do it or not to do it. We have to do it because internships, as I said, is mandatory now under NEP 2020. So even if you have the slightest doubt, once I share the policy documents and the GRs, you can always give me a call. So that is not an issue. At the end of the session, I will also share my contact details. So over now to
Sir, you can
our
share your PPT after the session in the group.
sure. I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah. So coming to sharing of the my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir. हो ना यार, वो मीटिंग भी ज्वाइन कर.
Yeah. Sir, oh, 1 second. Screen sharing has stopped. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
Okay, fine. So here I just want to share. Um, See, the UGC guidelines, if you look at the UGC guideline or the Maharashtra state guidelines, if I'm not mistaken, it is around 109 pages document, 100 plus. And what happens is when the document is very big, many a time we don't, there is a tendency that you hardly, read through each and every page of the, it becomes very difficult. So what we did is last year at our university level, we try to simplify the policy in the sense without compromising the essence of it. So, this is what the policy is like, which I'm sharing with all of you. The objective is to provide guidelines to the affiliated colleges on campus schools for uniform and effective implementation of OGT and project work for PG students. Because last year it was only for our PG students. We didn't have the UG that time. Because everybody should be doing it in the same uniform way. And that is how then what we did, we studied all the guidelines of the UGC and the government of Maharashtra, and we tried to simplify it, and we converted this into a policy document, which is hardly a, if you see here, it is a one-page document. In one page itself, we have explained what is to be done and what one should not compromise. So here, this policy document, here it says that, okay, the HEI, the training and placement cell will have will be responsible for the placement of the students in terms of internship placements. And of course, these are the guidelines. It was given that each school will have one assistant coordinator and one of the faculty will be responsible as the coordinator for the internships also. So here if I go point by point, the training and placement coordinator shall ensure that OGT project opportunities are made available to the students. And the TPO along with the head of the HEI and the director of the school will also explore these opportunities. So सिर्फ ये training and placement का काम नहीं है, तो वो respective director also or the school head also should try to explore the different opportunities about where the students can be sent. Now, for example, if you ask me, like for example, BA, BCom, students के लिए काफी challenging था, especially at taluka level or at smaller smaller districts where industries are not there. So what we did, we entered MOU at university level with
शाकिर भाई.
institutes, with organizations such as CAIT, Confederation of All India Traders, यानी व्यापारी महासंघ. Now, even if there are small towns, there are definitely shops which are there, trading shops. So we also approached them and we signed MOU with them, wherein we, the shopkeepers came forward and they agreed to offer internship opportunities to the BA BCom students also. In a similar way, like for example, in places like Nandurbar, where it's a tribal belt. So apart from Nandurbar, there are small villages which are there where it was very challenging for us that how do we get the opportunities for internships. So there we involved one scheme which is called as Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan. Under this scheme, there was a IIT Bombay is the nodal agency for that, and under that scheme, there was one cell which was called as Aple Prashna, Aple Vignan. Under this Aple Prashna, Aple Vignan, we conducted different sessions and we educated the people, our faculty members on that of affiliated colleges, and started providing these kind of opportunities to the students over there. What is it? We'll come that I'll show you. I'll share with you that also. So the training and placement coordinator was supposed to maintain a uniform database. So here also we shared this NHR A. When I'm saying NHR A means can you see this Excel file?
No, sir. You share the
No.
screen.
Okay. It's on my screen over here. You are able to see this.
Yes. Guidelines for internship we are able to see, sir.
Okay, fine. What I'll do is after this guideline, then I'll come to all the NXMs.
Okay.
Yeah. So we created that database. वो database किस तरह से maintain करते थे हम लोग वो NXR मैं आपको share करूँगा. I will share that NXR over mail also to you in the group.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, then preparing and maintaining potential recruiters का भी ये करो वो तो database maintain करने के लिए. Then credit calculation framework also we had a uniform guideline like how the credit calculation should be done. And disciplinary issue here where what we said is that बच्चे को जो जब जाते हैं internship के लिए तो we should also ensure that there are no if any disciplinary issues are there like वो बच्चा नहीं जा रहा है या फिर उधर कुछ problem हो गया तो we should keep an coordination like an eye on that also. Similarly, we had some guidelines for the students also, like guideline for the student यानी formal dress में जाना चाहिए, code of conduct उसने करना चाहिए, यानी follow करनी चाहिए, safety norms उसने follow करनी चाहिए, और कुछ भी information अगर publish करता है in their reports, so they should take prior permission. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई लड़का कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में गया और उसके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की इंटरनल इंफॉर्मेशन आपके उसके रिपोर्ट में दे दिया. So the report should consist of what? 3W1H. What, when, how, क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए, कैसा किया है, वो learnings का उसने डालना चाहिए. And he should ensure that he creates a good impression amongst the organization, because it is not only that student but also in the coming batches there will be more and more batches which will be going for these kind of internships. उसी तरह से फिर हमने गाइडलाइन फॉर इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ इंटर्नशिप किया. 60% out of that evaluation our internal marks were for 40 marks and external was for 60 marks. इसमें फिर अटेंडेंस इंटरनल में हमने अटेंडेंस एंड लर्निंग आउटकम लिया और एक्सटर्नल में कंडक्ट एंड रिपोर्ट सबमिटेड. तो अटेंडेंस को भी हमने डॉक्यूमेंट किया एनएचआर बी. फिर बाद में लर्निंग आउटकम वाज फ्रॉम द मेंटर. The mentor is from the institute itself, and then learning outcome, then conduct and overall project needs to be internship. The internship supervisor, ये internship supervisor जो है वो जहाँ पे जा रहा है लड़का बच्चा जहाँ पे जा रहा है उस कंपनी का या उस ट्रेनिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का जो भी बंदा है जो उसको मॉनिटर करता है उसको हम लोग इंटर्नशिप सुपरवाइजर बोलते हैं. तो दैट रिपोर्ट उससे भी उनको एनएचआर डी में हमने उसकी भी जानकारी उसको कैप्चर करने की कोशिश वो तो ये किया. एंड minimum attendance criteria as per university norms was made mandatory, and then 40% of the marks he should score. ये किया. And OGT certificate was NHSC. Now what we said over here is that a certificate can be issued by the institute also. When we are saying by the institute, in the sense, we said the institute, provided they have the annexure C and D. The annexure D is to be filled by the supervisor. तो सुपरवाइजर जो है, जो कंपनी में जो जा रहे हैं, उस कंपनी का सुपरवाइजर या फिर वो शॉपकीपर का जो भी जो इस्टेब्लिशमेंट में जा रहे हैं, उसका सुपरवाइजर जो भी होगा बच्चे का, उसके रिमार्क्स के बेस पे मे बी द इंस्टीट्यूट आल्सो कैन थिंक ऑफ इशूइंग द सर्टिफिकेट. और ये जो पीजी के लिए जो था, दिस वाज फॉर 4 क्रेडिट्स. So what I will do is I will do. The best part is, like, what I will share this immediately. I will share this immediately with all of you, so that you can download, and if any questions are there, then you can definitely get in touch with me. One second, I'm just trying to attach the file. How do I attach? So I've shared this. Guidelines on the chat box also, and I'm also sharing the annexures. Coordinator can just confirm that all the attachments have been received.
Yes, sir. We are receiving that attachments. No issue. One, we have received the PDF of that English version. Okay.
Correct.
Then now we have received the Excel copy. Annexure.
Correct. Excel is annexure A.
Yeah.
Annexure A, B, C, D, E. All the annexures are there. Yeah.
Okay.
So now many of them will also say that, sir, English में नहीं होता है, मराठी में चाहिए. So Marathi also we had made same guidelines. I have also shared my contact details. सर ये मिला सबको?
Yes, sir. Yes, received. Your contact details have been received. Okay.
Okay, okay. Now I am also sharing with all of them the government of Maharashtra GR also. So all the participants, see basically whatever this internship guidelines that I've shared and the GRs also I've shared, the government of Maharashtra GR and the UGC guidelines also. If you look at the GR, it is 94 pages and the UGC guidelines are 15 pages. So what we did is we have tried to get from this the entire like the gist of it, and we are trying to cover it. Now I'll come to annexure A, B, C, D quickly. I'll just show that annexures to you. So what I'll do is now the annexures that we have created. No, see basically I have shared with you the university policy that we made. It is quite simple and easy to understand. If you face any difficulty, you can reach out to me. I will give you, I can guide you, I can help you out, like, how to work on. This is for the PG program that we have done. But nevertheless, UG also it will be on the similar guidelines. You may modify it, do small changes wherever required. Now, coming to the annexures, I'm sharing one by one with you because I have already shared the annexure. I'm going to display those annexures over here. Coordinator can confirm to me if this is visible.
Yes, sir. Your screens are visible.
Yeah, so you can see this annexure of A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is annexure A which I have already shared with all the participants also. यहाँ पे हम लोग क्या कैप्चर करते हैं कि वो बंदे का जो स्टूडेंट का एकेडमिक ईयर कौन सा है, उसका पीआरएन नंबर, एबीसीडी आईडी, सीट नंबर, व्हाटएवर। यहाँ पे क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है कि ये बच्चे हु इज फ्रॉम वेयर टू, ये एक्सेल में करना इसलिए जरूरी है so that you can generate reports out of it और एक आपके पास डेटाबेस बन जाता है।
Yeah.
और इसको स्टैंडर्डाइज करके हमने क्या किया कि ऑल यूनिवर्सिटी का इस तरह से हमने डेटाबेस बनाया। उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि हमारे को रिपोर्ट हम लोग जो बना पाए, उसका रिपोर्टिंग हम लोग बहुत अच्छी तरीके से कर सके। लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, लाइक उसके अंदर कौन से कॉलेज के कितने लड़के थे, कौन से स्ट्रीम के थे, कौन से सेक्टर में गए, उस तरीके से हमारे को करना आसान हो गया। तो आप ये जरूर फॉलो कीजिए। फिर बाद में अगर आप देख रहे हो, ये एनेक्जर बी है। एनेक्जर बी इज नथिंग बट द अटेंडेंस ऑफ द स्टूडेंट, और ये स्टूडेंट का फीडबैक। See, as per NEP, we also need to take the feedback of the students. So we have also taken the feedback of the students. इतना ही नहीं, हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी ने क्या किया कि जितने भी लड़के इसके लिए गए, इंटर्नशिप के लिए गए, सबको इंसेंटिवाइज भी किया। इंसेंटिवाइज कैसे किया? हमने एक वीसी, वाइस चांसलर इंटर्नशिप प्रमोशन स्कीम लॉन्च की। उसके अंतर्गत हमने बच्चों को फ्री हॉस्टल रहने की परमिशन दी, और प्लस उसको पीजी के बच्चे थे हमारे, तो उनके लिए 1000 रुपीज एक महीने का एक स्टाइपेंड भी दिया है। तो एक मानधन के जैसा दिया, वो स्टाइपेंड दिया, बिकॉज वो आने जाने के खर्चे के लिए, इसके लिए। तो ये एनेक्जर बी इज नथिंग बट द स्टूडेंट की इंफॉर्मेशन। Annexure C is for the internal assessment. This assessment is to be done by the mentor. Mentor यानी जो इंस्टीट्यूट या कॉलेज का जो भी प्रोफेसर उसके लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल होगा, मेंटर बोल के, तो ही हैज टू डू द असेसमेंट। तो यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया, अगर आप देखोगे ये एट्रीब्यूट्स जो है, these are 5 attributes. Are you able to see 5? ये 5 attributes को हमने इस तरीके से, वो तो see, these are not defined by us. Let me share with you. This is there in the guidelines. The GR, महाराष्ट्र शासनाचा जो GR आहे त्याच्यामध्ये आहे, यूजीसी गाइडलाइन मध्ये आहे। हमने सिर्फ क्या किया, उसको ठीक से कंबाइन करके, बिकॉज देखो 15 क्वेश्चंस अगर आप पूछोगे तो बच्चों का आंसर नहीं आएंगे। तो हमने क्या किया, वो काफी सारे एट्रीब्यूट्स को एक क्लब करके उस तरह से 5 एट्रीब्यूट्स के ऊपर उनको क्वेश्चनिंग ये किया, यानी सेल्फ इवैल्यूएशन। उसी तरह से एक्सटर्नल असेसमेंट, एक्सटर्नल असेसमेंट फॉर्म इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। दिस हैज टू बी फिल्ड बाय द पर्सन, external person who is the supervisor, who is called as a internship supervisor. अगर आप देखोगे ये फॉर्म में कहीं पे भी हमने ओपन एंडेड क्वेश्चंस नहीं रखे हैं, because the moment you keep open ended questions, people are tend not to answer. उनके लिए हमने काफी सारे क्लोज एंडेड क्वेश्चंस ही दिए हैं, वो भी टिपिकली 5 क्वेश्चंस। This, I would say that this has been developed by me with the inputs from my respective deans also. But since I have done it from the scratch, I can answer any of your questions even after this session. Because some of you, when you go through it in detail, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe after 1 week or 1 month, you can get back to me and you can ask me any type of questions which are there pertaining to this policy. I can answer them, because these are all linked to your GR and the UGC guideline. There is nothing. What we have tried to do is we have tried to collect it into one, compress it, and put what must be done, rather than having only nice to have things. If you see here we have created one certificate where we said that certificate will be also signed by the institute director or the principal. Now you may say कि sir, they have gone into the industry. मान लो कोई इंडस्ट्री में अगर जाते हैं, हेलो, अगर कोई इंडस्ट्री में जाते हैं, हेलो, yeah. So when we go to the industry, this certificate is based upon the NHD. This is just a suggestive format that we had given, where we had written that, okay, because see, without NHD, you cannot issue the certificate. NHD क्या है? वो external assessment है, which is done by the industry expert. Now see, when you go to industry, like for example, let us say you go to Bajaj Auto for internship, and tomorrow 50 students go, 100 students go. So tomorrow the industry may not be, interested in giving all the certificate, but assessment probably, we have kept a close-ended question. So assessment can be, means what I'm trying to say, the certificate can be issued by the institute, provided there is a backing of the NHD, which is the external assessment. That is what we have said of here. So this I had showed you in English. Similarly, Marathi, if you see, we have translated that in Marathi also because it is there. All these annexures are available in Marathi also. हाँ सर, हाँ सर.
सर आपकी आवाज चले गई.
सॉरी सॉरी म्यूट हो गए. मैं बोला कि काफी सारे लोगों को एक सवाल और भी आता होगा दिल में, शायद उन्होंने पूछने के लिए. हेलो, हाँ, तो आपको यानी तालुका लेवल पे या विलेज लेवल पे हम लोग इंटर्नशिप कैसे की जाए, बिकॉज मुलांना शेवटी काय करायचं आपल्याला की त्यांना प्रॅक्टिकल एक्सपिरियन्स द्यायचा आहे. तो इसके लिए महाराष्ट्र का एक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र का एक स्कीम था, उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान, UMA. इज माय स्क्रीन विजिबल टू ऑल ऑफ यू? कोऑर्डिनेटर, कैन यू प्लीज कंफर्म?
Yes sir, yes sir. We are getting APAV PPT.
हाँ, करेक्ट. So वो जो you are able to see this PPT?
No, you open that PPT sir. You have not opened it.
No, I have opened it. I have once again opened it. One second, just hold on. दिख रहा है?
नहीं सर.
एक मिनट सर। अब दिखेगा देखो।
हाँ, दिख रहा है सर।
हाँ, तो क्या होता है कि लाइक मेनी ऑफ यू मे बी इन विलेजेस और रिमोट एरिया, तालुका लेवल। तो तालुका लेवल में आपके सामने चैलेंजिंग आता है कि बच्चे कहाँ जाएंगे भाई इंटर्नशिप को। तो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र का एक प्रोग्राम था जिसका नाम है उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान। उस उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान का हमने सपोर्ट लिया, और उस उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान में आईआईटी बॉम्बे जो है उसके नोडल एजेंसी थी। तो वहां के जो प्रोफेसर गोपाल चौहान जो है, फॉर्चुनेटली ही इज फ्रॉम परभनी, सो यू कैन यूज इट फॉर द मराठवाड़ा बेनिफिट ऑल्सो। तो हमने उनको इन्वॉल्व किया, और उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान के अंतर्गत हमने विलेजेस में, स्पेशली नंदुरबार हिली एरिया जो था, हमारा ट्राइबल एरिया जो था, वहां पे हमने प्रोजेक्ट्स इम्प्लीमेंट किए। तो शायद बीच में किसी का डिस्टर्बेंस आ रहा है, प्लीज। तो ये अभी मैं इसके ऊपर प्रेजेंटेशन नहीं दूंगा, बट क्या होता है कि लोकल जो इश्यूज रहते हैं, लोकल जो चैलेंजेस रहते हैं, उस चैलेंजेस के ऊपर बच्चों को काम करने के लिए ये किया, कि सोल्यूशन निकालने के लिए। तो इस तरह से, बिकॉज बेसिकली सी इंटर्नशिप का मतलब क्या है कि उनको अच्छे तरह से उनको अपन ट्रेनिंग कैसे, वो तो सॉरी, उनका डेवलपमेंट कैसे हो, बाय इंटरेक्टिंग विद पीपल, बाय अंडरस्टैंडिंग द इश्यूज। तो इस तरह से हमने वो विलेज लेवल पे भी ये किया। तो व्हाट आई सजेस्ट, ये इसको भी उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान एबीवीपी, सॉरी अपना आपले आपले विज्ञान का ये चाहिए, तो उसमें से वो ये कर सकते हैं। कहने का मतलब दे कैन रीच आउट टू द उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान टीम ऑल्सो। कोऑर्डिनेटर मेरे ख्याल से कुछ किसी का आवाज आ रहा है बीच में।
यस सर।
नहीं, किसी का डिस्टरबेंस आ रहा था बीच में। अच्छा, सबको दिख रहा है अभी ये स्क्रीन?
यस सर, रन दैट पीपीटी सर।
हाँ, नहीं वो अभी ये मेरा रिपोर्ट है। आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू शो यू एट द विलेज लेवल व्हाट वी डिड। इफ यू सी दिस,
पेज अपीयर
दिस
होके
इज
चलेगा सर।
ओके ओके, वन सेकेंड वन सेकेंड। इज इट विजिबल नाउ?
नो नो सर।
नहीं,
नहीं।
एक मिनट सर। अब आ रहा है?
हाँ, स्लाइड आई सर एक।
दिख रहा है
गायत्री
आपको?
भाई, हाँ भाई।
करेक्ट
हाँ,
करेक्ट।
आपकी
अभी
स्लाइड
इसमें
है।
क्या है कि जैसे मैंने बताया, तालुका लेवल पे हमने क्या किया, आपले प्रश्न आपले विज्ञान, ये उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान का स्कीम है। ये उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान की स्कीम के अंतर्गत हमने क्या किया, स्पेशली रिमोट एरियाज में, जैसे अभी नंदुरबार है, हिली एरिया है, शहादा, जहाँ पे जाना भी बहुत मुश्किल है, तो वहां पे हमने क्या किया, इस माध्यम के थ्रू हमने इंटर्नशिप का ये किया। हमने क्या किया, अगर आप देखोगे, मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा, ये आपको दिख रहा है, इसका लेटर दिख रहे हैं आपको गवर्नमेंट के?
Yes, yes, sir.
ये देखो, डीएम ऑफिस धुलिया, डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट जलगांव, डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट नंदुरबार, उन्होंने सर्कुलर निकाला और उनके हर एक डिपार्टमेंट को उनको बोला कि भाई ये यूनिवर्सिटी का जो इंटर्नशिप का जो स्कीम चल रहा है उसके अंदर आप जाके पार्टिसिपेट करो। ये उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान का, ये देखो हमने सर्कुलर ये वो पूरे निकाले, ये देखो इसकी न्यूज ये वो सब। तो लगा तो मैं ये रिपोर्ट भी आप लोगों के साथ शेयर करता हूँ, जिससे कि आपको एक आइडिया आएगा कि किस तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट किया। कहने का मतलब कैसा है कि सभी चीज पॉसिबल है, provided we are able to, like, we have to find a way. What I'm trying to say is that we have to find a way. See, वो एक है कि हम लोग बोलेंगे नहीं सर, अभी तालुका लेवल में क्या हो सकता है, करना मुश्किल है। लेकिन वही दूसरा तरीका है कि देखो हम लोग इस तरह से कर सकते हैं। तो इसके बारे में भी अगर कोई किसी को सहायता चाहिए तो मैं आपको कनेक्ट करके दे सकता हूँ उन्नत महाराष्ट्र अभियान की टीम के साथ। तो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज, I have also shared this report which I showed you. Yeah. So I think this is what I could best share with all of you. Any questions are there? I would like to answer those.
Yeah, like
Yes, participants can unmute themselves and can raise the question. One by one. Raise your hand and then.
अग्रेसित आहे ना, नुसतं वर स्तंभ आहे, उंच
No,
उंच.
no. No, sir. Lot of disturbance are coming.
Hello.
Sir.
You can type it also, I said, if it is, I can answer
Yes.
those.
Yes.
And as I said to all the participants, let's see, whatever I have shared, it is through my personal experiences and about the each and every word of the policy which is there. You have any questions, maybe during the session, maybe after the session, or maybe 1 month down the line when you want to implement, when you want to connect with people, you let me know. I will be happy to help you out, because ultimate our aim is that ultimately, as I said, we all are into a very noble profession, so we should be proud of it, and at the same time we all are responsible for the future of our, for the future generations. So I think, let us do and help each other, network with each other, and try to find solutions. Yeah, so you can type and You can type your questions, if any, or then otherwise I leave it to the coordinator.
Okay, sir. I think no questions.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
So,
Can I exit?
no, sir. Wait.
Okay.
So, on behalf of MMTTC, Mahila Vision Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, I, Dr. Sheikh Akhil, is honored to propose vote of thanks on the fourth day of 33rd NEP orientation and sanitization. First and foremost, I sincerely thanks our esteemed guest speaker, Dr. Rajesh B. Jawalekar, Director Innovation, Incubation and Linkage. Kavitri Bhai Bhai, Chaudhary, North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. Sir, your lecture was very nice. Sir has started with the year 1980. What was the market scenario, business strategies? Then he switched to 1990s, where government has opened doors for privatization. He also talked about internship, OGT under NEP 2020. He shared some GRs, Excel files, annexures, and lot many things to us, which will be very helpful for us, sir. Sir has quoted a lot of examples. Thanks, sir. It was very informative session where we have heard new things. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I
Thank you
thanks.
all.
Wait, sir. Thanks. I also thank Dr. Abdul Rafe, sir, coordinator and host of 12 days program. I also thank Professor Dhanshiri Mahajan, Director MMTTC. Thank you to all the participants listening sincerely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir.
Thank you,
The
sir.
more the questions I get after this session, when you implement, will be a real satisfaction for me also, because in online sessions it is very difficult to understand, like, what the other side is understanding. So you all are welcome.
साइलेंट है मेरे इस पे भी 2 मिस कॉल आए सर हाँ देते बेटे देते
Yes, you can leave the